We're joined now by Dorothy Dupree, who recently retired from her position as Director of the Billings Area Office of Indian Health Service. Thanks for being here, Dorothy.
Very much my pleasure. Pleasure, Sarah.
And I
a little bit nervous, but
oh, don't be.
I'll
don't
hang in
be.
there.
Absolutely. And congratulations on your retirement.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy for you.
Thank you.
A lot of years with the Indian Health Service. How many?
29, about 29 and a half years.
That's excellent.
Never quite made my 30.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Well, you look great, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So what is the Billings Area Office, Indian Health Service Office? What is that?
It's a subunit, I'll call it that, of the Indian Health Service nationally. The Indian Health Service is headquartered back in Rockville, Maryland, and we have 12 area offices. The Billings area is one of them, and we serve the tribes in Montana and Wyoming.
And what facilities does it include?
We have 3 hospitals, 2 of which are critical access, and 3 large ambulatory programs.
So which hospitals are they?
The 2 critical access hospitals are located at Fort Belknap and Crow Agency. And
Okay.
the acute care hospital is located in Browning. It's the Blackfeet Hospital.
Okay. Who do they serve?
The tribal individuals that reside on or near the reservation.
Okay.
They don't, it could be any federally enrolled tribal member without cost. Direct care is what we refer to that as. And then those who are residents of the reservation are funded for care that we cannot provide through purchase referred care.
So we've talked about adverse childhood experiences. What is that like for the folks that are living on or near reservations and experiencing that?
Well, first of all, before maybe I can talk a little bit about why adverse childhood events, why trauma-informed care. I've been an area director in 4 other areas. Well, this is my 4th area. In coming to the Billings area, I was always asked, why is it so different? Why is it different? Why is it that we're not making the gains that we have in other areas here in the Billings area? And after a lot of close observation and listening to the patients and patient complaints, it really is about trauma and the re-traumatization when they come into our facilities, because we're not taking the time. Every patient complaint that I received, I would respond to personally or have conversations with the patients, and it really came down to the trauma. And of course, trauma, there's a lot of discussion now about adverse childhood events, and there's the survey that you can take to determine what your level of trauma is if you've had X, Y, or Z within your history. And the trauma measures are very, very high. We probably know that already just intuitively without even having to administer a survey, and some programs do and some programs don't. But it relates back to there's historical trauma and there's current day trauma. In the historical trauma, of course, that leads back to the Great Indian Wars, the Plains tribes. I think it's more raw trauma up here because the 130 years ago, 140 years ago was not that long ago, really. And we still have individuals who are still alive, and great-great-grandmothers and grandfathers who can still talk about the trauma way back then when they started seeing individuals disappear or be killed in war, hand-to-hand with the Army and so forth. And then we have modern-day trauma with the level of isolation that we have here in Montana. The poverty that we see on the reservations is also supportive of the trauma and the ongoing. So we see a lot of ongoing behaviors that are really based in trauma.
So can you give us some specific examples about historical trauma? Give us a few examples of things you've seen.
Well, maybe things I've read about, not necessarily
Sure.
seen. I know I'm
Sure.
old, but maybe not that old.
Sure.
One of the books that I started reading that I hadn't read before is based upon a lot of research by two historians, non-Indian historians, and it's called The Heart of Everything That Is. It's really about Red Cloud, who is one of the great American warriors, who is Lakota Sioux. And the story is absolutely amazing. It's based on fact, it's based on history, it's based on written words back and forth, and letters shared with the army at that time, and sending information back east to the Great White Father. It was based also on winter counts and stories of the individuals that they still had available to when they started investigating and really looking at the history. Things such as counting coup. Counting coup was really a warrior's game to show how brave they are, where they would go up to an enemy and tap them but not kill them. And when it started, what happened when they came into the conflict or in contact with the army, they would go up and count coup and run away and be killed. And that was shocking, and it talks about that in this book, and it's really from that perspective of what's going on. This is not how you play this game. That's not the rule. We don't murder. We count coup. We show how brave we are. We run in, we tap, we leave. So that change in the rules was very significant and very traumatizing when they saw things like that occur. Driving us from our homes, our traditional hunting lands and so forth. Bozeman is a good example where there used to be a large meeting area, and we'd come together as tribes, and we could no longer do that in safety. So that in itself is trauma.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy, and thanks, Tina, for being with us today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to come back again next week. In the meantime, stay fit, stay well, and stay healthy for life with Healthy Living for Life.
Healthy Living for Life is brought to you by Mountain Pacific Quality Health. We'd love to hear from you. If you have suggestions for future programs, visit our website at mpqhf.org or call us at 406-443-4020. You can also catch us on YouTube by visiting our website and clicking on the YouTube icon. Special thanks to Fire Tower Coffee House and Roasters. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions.